Let's do 15 through 20 and knock these out. So in solid, mercury 2 nitrate. Well, mercury, again, let's just recap. If I'm not quite sure what mercury 2 is, right, that's Hg 2 plus. What's nitrate, right? This is why we got to know our polyatomic ions. NO3 minus is heated. So mercury 2 nitrate would be HgNO3 2 solid. It's heated. Throw in the heat. It decomposes to form solid mercury 2 oxide. Well, we know oxide's O2 minus, so that would be HgO solid, and nitrogen dioxide, NO2 gas, and oxygen, which is O2 gas. Are we balanced? Well, let's look. Mercury is good. Now, nitrate does not exist on both sides. Now, the nitrate breaks down. Okay, so what do we got to look at? Each individual atom. So N, I have two N's and one N. So that means I need to put a 2 in front of NO2. So nitrogen's good. Oxygen, I got 6 oxygen on the left here. So we got 6 oxygen here. And I have 1 plus 4, which would be 5, 7. So that's 1. That's plus 4 would be 5, 6, 7. So 7 oxygen on the right and only 6 on the left here. So that means the left has less. So I would double the left. So that would mean I would put a 2 in front of mercury 2 nitrate, which means I have to put a 2 in front of mercury 2 oxide. What happens to nitrogen now? Well, now nitrogen has 4. All right, because I have the 2 times 2 is 4 nitrogen. So that means I have to take the 2, I have to double it to make it a 4. Okay, now let's check the oxygen. 2 times 3, 6 times 2 is 12. 2 plus 8 plus 2. Well, 2 plus 8 is 10, plus the other 2 is 12. So that works out. You can always double check. Number 16, copper metal. What is copper metal? That would just be Cu solid, right? Reacts with hot concentrated. So concentrated, what does that mean? That means we're going to be AQ, right? Because concentrated represents the amount in solution. Sulfuric acid, well, ick. Sulfuric came from 8. So this is sulfate. So we know that it's H2. I need 2 H pluses because sulfate is 2 minus. And that's hot. To form aqueous, copper 2 sulfate, Cu, and SO4. So copper 2 would be Cu2 plus. Sulfate is SO4 2 minus, so that's good together. Sulfur dioxide gas, SO2 gas, and water, H2O liquid. Excellent. Is it balanced? Well, copper. Copper is good. Sulfate. Does sulfate survive here? Right? Because I have sulfate, I can balance sulfate and sulfate. The problem then becomes I have sulfur is my only source of sulfur is in sulfate. I have sulfur and sulfate from copper 2 sulfate and sulfur dioxide. So some of the sulfates break down to produce sulfur dioxide, and some of the sulfates survived as copper 2 sulfate. So it can no longer just balance sulfate with sulfate. All right, so let's look at sulfur. Well, sulfur does not have enough. I need to put a 2 in front of sulfuric acid. So now we have the same number of sulfurs on both sides. H. Well, H is no good. I have 4 H's on the left-hand side and 2 on the right. Well, I can double water, so get a 2 there. So now we have, let's look. I want to use this. 1 copper, 1 copper. 4 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens. 2 sulfurs, 1, 2 sulfurs. I have 8 oxygens. 4, 6. It's balanced. How about that? So it works. Number 17. Hydrogen sulfide gas. H2S. Gas is passed over solid hot iron 3, Fe3 plus, hydroxide, OH minus. Passed over FeOH3, solid. And that's hot. The resultant reaction produces solid iron 3 sulfide. Sulfide is S2 minus, right? So that would be Fe2S3 solid and gaseous water, H2O gas. Okay. Let's look. Is this balanced here? We have for iron. Iron is not. So what type of reaction is this, by the way? H2S would probably be considered an acid, right? H is out front. And we got a hydroxide. That's technically a base in Chem 1. So acid, base, salt, water. Always start with the salt in these neutralization type reactions. So I start with the salt. I look at iron. I have a 2. I need to put a 2 in front of iron 3 hydroxide. The sulfur has a 3. I need to put a 3 in front of H2S. And so now I have 6 hydrogens and 3 times 2 is 6 hydroxides. So that should make 6 waters. And let's check. 6 and 6, 12, 12. 3 sulfurs, 2 irons, 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. Works. Fantastic. When liquid phosphorus trichloride, not H, excuse me. Let's go with Cl, my eraser here. PCl3 liquid is added to water, H2O liquid. It reacts to form aqueous phosphorus acid. So us come from ite, right? So phosphite is PO3, 3 minus. And I will need 3 H's. And hydrochloric acid. Right? So hydrogen chloride. Because there's no oxygen. Right? So that's how that is named. Let's look. Balanced. Is it balanced? 1P, 1P, yes. 3 Cl's, 1 Cl. So let's put a 3 in front of HCl. I have H's. I have 2 and I have 3 and 6. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So if I put a 3 in front of the water, H is good. How's O? 3 and 3. Balanced. Sounds good. Number 19. Solid zinc metal. ZNS. Reacts with sulfuric acid. We just did that one. H2SO4. Thank you. Produce hydrogen gas. H2 gas. And zinc sulfate. ZnSO4. Now, what's zinc's charge? We know sulfate is 2 minus. What's zinc? Well, zinc is always plus 2, right? Zinc's one of those. It's always plus 2. Okay, is it balanced? Let's see. How is zinc? Zinc is good. How is H? H2, good. And sulfate. We can do sulfate here by itself. Ooh, that's big. So sulfate is good. It's balanced. And 20, solid potassium chlorate. Well, potassium is K+, chlorate is ClO3 minus. So KClO3 solid. If that's heated, we get potassium chloride, which is a solid, and oxygen gas. Okay, is it balanced? Well, potassium's good, chlorine's good, oxygen has 3 and a 2. Well, that's not going to work. So we're going to put a 2 in front of potassium chlorate and a 3 in front of O2. Now I have 6 oxygens and 6 oxygens, but that changed everything else. I have 2 potassiums and 2 chlorines, or chlorides, so I need to put a 2 in front of potassium chloride. And now we are balanced. So that ends day 30 and all the balancing examples. Hopefully that makes balancing clearer. And again, I know I've said it before, but the hardest part about balancing is actually not the balancing, it's writing the names. So if you're still struggling with naming, always feel free to go back and review naming. All right. As always, I'm here to help. Hope you guys had a good one. See you next time. Take care. Bye.